We're here with Mr. Tom Atencio, and Tom, Strikeforce is going huge here with Fedor and Brett Rogers on CBS. What are your thoughts on this fight?
I think it's great. I think it's, obviously we were trying to get him for our event to fight Fedor, so I think it works out perfect. It's obviously a fight I want to see, so I'm real happy about it. I think Brett has a legitimate chance. I think, I was talking about it earlier. If he loses, it is what it is. It's almost like a lot of people don't expect him to. If he comes out, puts on a great show, puts on a great fight, his stock goes up out the window. If he beats him, come on, that's huge. He'll be a superstar overnight. So it's just definitely it's a fight I want to see. As a fan, I'm a huge fan. I've always said that I'm a fan first, and I'm real excited for Brett. And with Remedy sponsoring him, I think it's just it's a natural progression of MMA. There's not a lot of heavyweights out there right now for Fedor to fight, and it makes the most sense for Brett to be fighting him.
So you don't worry that they're throwing him in there too soon? 10 fights, Fedor's got 31. Or is it just, hey, he's got to take the shot if it's given to him?
You could say that about anybody. No matter who you put in there, you're always going to have critics. So I think Brett's ready. I think Brett's a great fighter. I think that he has a legitimate chance. It doesn't matter if you have another guy that has 30 fights. There's somebody that's always going to say, he was groomed. There's somebody that's going to say he fought nobody, whatever. He's number 6 in the world, ranked number 6 in the world right now. Who else are you going to put in there?
Yeah, you're right.
So it makes a lot of sense, and I think it's a great shot for him.
What do you think about, like you just said, there's not a ton of guys out there outside of the UFC. Who else is out there for these guys to tangle with?
You have Verdum, you have the guys that are Strikeforce, obviously, but that was a choice that Fedor and M1 Global made by going to Strikeforce, and so either way you're gonna limit yourself when it comes to heavyweights. There's not a whole heck of a lot of heavyweights out there anymore, aside from Japan, and lots of times we all know why they don't come over here. So you have the UFC and you have Strikeforce. Those are the two organizations, the biggest organizations out there. We're back with the UFC. It's a great relationship. We're back sponsoring fighters, and we're back to our roots where we started from. So it's great. I'm real happy about it. But the truth of the matter is, you have two organizations, and the UFC is the big dog out there. So if he's not in the UFC, then he's limited, to the fighters that they have available. If he's in the UFC, then there's always going to be other fighters that you say, maybe how come he's not fighting there? So there's two different organizations. There's not much you can do. You're in one or the other.
What do you miss most about your two Affliction shows? You guys put on spectacular events. Everybody that went to them loved them, but it just ended up not working out. But
Thank you.
What do you miss about those?
Truthfully, it was a lot of hard work, and I miss being at the events. But I'm back. Like I said, we're back with the UFC. So it's really, we didn't skip a beat if you think about it. We're back, and we're working. I'm still working with all the fighters. I'm still able to go to all the shows, and there's really nothing for me to miss except for the hard work and and the labor of love, watching a fight. Josh Barnett, he tested positive, and I can't change that. And what happened. So it's the past. I don't look backwards. I always look forward.
Last thing, we're seeing record ratings for The Ultimate Fighter on Spike TV. What do you think about MMA returning to network television with CBS? Do you think there's the audience out there to really put up some real huge numbers, or what do you think?
100%. I think it's once again the natural progression. I think that this is something that has to be done. I think that it's good for the sport. I've always been an advocate of the sport, and that's what I'm always going to be. I've always want to look at what's good for the sport, and I think both the UFC putting on free events and Showtime and Strikeforce putting on free events, I think it's great for the sport, and it gives these guys a chance to get better known and to make other people fans of a fairly new industry.
Mm-hmm. Right on, man. Well, thanks again, Tom.
No worries. Thanks, bud.